all I'll say in this introduction is that it's a good job we beat Hammarby 3-0 in the first leg. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we've got a 3-game special for you as we take on AIK, Chelsea and AIK once again in the 4th qualifying round of the Europa League and then the Premier League as well. You can also probably hear from my voice that it's I'm a bit ill at the moment. The voice isn't quite its usual dulcet tone. It's a bit more harsh today, so I apologise for that. I hope you can bear with me. We've played 2 games since you were last here and quite frankly they weren't good. So obviously last episode we beat Hammarby 3-0 and I said I'm not going to show the next game because it'll be an easy win after we beat them 3-0 and they didn't have a single shot in that game. Well, they had more shots in the second game, beat us 3-2. So you can argue that perhaps they played better that game. We took the lead but then they equalised and then they took the lead but we quickly replied, but they scored a late goal to secure a 3-2 win for them. But it doesn't matter because we won 5-3 on aggregate, so that was okay. And then we played our first Premier League game of the season against Everton and played woefully and lost 3-1. So, you know, these friendlies that my assistant manager was playing, he's clearly a better manager than I am because he beat Red Bull Salzburg 7-0, Dortmund 6-1, Leverkusen 4-2. He beat Roma 3-1, drew with Bayern Munich 1-1, and I lose to Hammarby and Everton. So, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Either way, though, we did get through that first round against Swedish side Hammarby to face Swedish side again, AIK. I'm not sure what AIK stands for. It doesn't even say up there, so maybe it doesn't stand for anything, I don't know. But we're playing them in the Friends Arena, of course, that's the Swedish National Stadium. So there must be a decent side, obviously. And obviously after those 2 losses there, I am feeling a bit nervous. We didn't make any more transfers last time out there, but we did sell one more player. Sean Smith was another guy that we sort of picked up last year, but couldn't get a work permit at all ever. So we sold him for quite a lot of money actually to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Where's he gone? We sold him for 8.25 million rather than 10.25 million. So we sold £66 million worth of player and we've brought in £66 million worth of player. So I think it's a pretty decent little transfer window there. We've broken even on money and things like that. These two are just like little guys that actually are English and actually can play for the under-23s or reserves, but they're not actually that good, as you can see from there. I mean, this guy actually could be alright in the future, to be fair. In fact, he's good enough to be in the Championship right now. Perhaps we get him on loan somewhere. We've got 3 games today, though, so we've got to be pretty quick going through these. We want to get through them quickly so we can have a decent length episode today. So, of course, in this first game against AIK, Reynolds starts himself in goal. We've got a back 4 of Masevic, Patino, Benteke and Ferreira. Masevic was suspended for the game against Everton. It carried over from last season, which then alerted me to the problem that we have no other left backs other than Masevic, which I've somehow completely blanked. So, I mean, that's an issue already this season, and the transfer window is now shut, so we've got to wait till January to get another left back in, because magically there isn't one in the 23s either, or in the 18s. He's literally the only left back at the club, so we're a bit stuck there. Jalapeno and Mertens start in the middle there with Gomez, Aravelos and Despacito on the wings and in the attacking midfield. And of course, Hammer Time, with 3 goals already this season, starts himself up front. Alright, kickoff is upon us. We're at home today, of course, so we've got that home advantage in this first leg. AIK, they should be a team that we should be comfortably beating. But then we did lose to Hammarby and Everton, so I'm a bit stuck in the middle of what should happen here. I mean, Bettina's already picked up a knock 5 minutes into the game, so he may have to come off pretty soon as well. But we're coming forward now. An awful cross there from Ferrara, going to no one. Gomez picks it up though on that left-hand side. He puts it in. An equally awful cross there. Now AIK can clear it. They're getting past our men. Their man is through already, and Reynolds is forced to make a decent save. That first highlight of the game going towards AIK, and I'm feeling nervous already. What's wrong with Patino then? What's up with him? What's going on there? Potential foot injury, brilliant. Hopefully he's not broken his foot like Neymar has in real life and is going to miss his Champions League game with Real Madrid, which Real Madrid I'm pretty sure are going to win now in the Champions League. I don't really see a chance now for PSG if Neymar's injured. So I think they played well in that first game, didn't they? But I think Real Madrid is going to be too strong, especially with no Neymar as AIK score. This was not part of the plan. I expected us to go very smoothly into the group stages and then maybe struggle there or something. But I was not expecting trouble in the qualifying rounds to 2 Swedish sides. As Aravelos puts it into Despacito, hits the crossbar. Aravelos, don't know why he didn't even shoot there. He passed it to their man. He should have had a shot there. The goal was open. I mean, today's not going well, is it, so far? It's not going well. mean, here they come again, look. They're on the ball once again. They're coming forward with it. Patino makes a decent interception there, but it goes straight back to their man. They've got a man over in the middle. It's the goal scorer once again. He scored another goal. All right, Despacito on this right-hand side. Puts it in the middle, onto Hammer Time's head, but it's cleared away in as far as Mertens. Jalapeno on the ball now, into Mertens. Ferraria with a chance to cross it now, puts it into Aravelos, but it's cleared away. Jalapeno into Gomez. Gomez hits the crossbar. Despacito has scored. We've got to sing the song now, haven't we? And that's embarrassing. I mean, I would sing it, but I don't know the words other than Despacito, if I'm being honest with you there. And Gomez, out of nowhere, makes it 2-2. So, I mean, fantastically, we're back in this now. It's also very cold in my room as well, on the grounds that last night my girlfriend said she was hot and made me open the window. As I look outside now, it's snowing. And it was snowing last night as well. So you can imagine how cold it is in my room right now, which isn't good. As Gomez comes forward now into Hammer Time. Despacito gets his second of the game. And like that, we've just turned things round. 36 minutes, it's 3-2. That is an insane scoreline for 36 minutes into a game. But we've suddenly decided, 20 minutes onwards, to play football. And we know how to play football again. So I'm very, very worried that the first 20 minutes of not being able to play football and then scoring 2 goals are going to bite us in the back later on. So we're desperately to score a few more goals now. We need to really switch on, grab 2 or 3 more goals to try and make ourselves safe. As Hammer Time hits how many times we hit the post now? That is the 3rd time we've hit the woodwork this game. We could have had 6 goals if we'd just been slightly more lucky, I suppose. Highlight now just before half-time. Looks like it's going towards us as Masovic now swings it into the area, onto Hammer Time, cleared as far as Mertens, and Despacito gets his hat-trick there. Fantastic stuff. I mean, now he's got a hat-trick, I suppose I've really got to try and sing it, haven't I? I mean, I've got the lyrics up and it's all in Spanish, isn't it? So, I mean, literally the only word I can make out is Despacito. Quiero respirar tu cuello despacito is apparently a line. I mean, I can't make sense of that. So I've not got a clue what I'm saying. I could be saying something stupid, couldn't I? Incredibly, actually, Despacito has already scored as many goals as Lacazette did last season. So, well done, Despacito. You're doing as well as the guy last season. I mean, Lacazette did start the game, actually, the second game against Hammarby, and played pretty woefully. I think he may have got an assist, but he didn't play very well for the rest of the game. We'll make a substitute. We'll take Patino off because he's looking tired, so we'll bring Kobayashi on. Who else is going to come off? Come on. Hammer Time's not played very well, actually, considering that we've scored 3 goals. So we'll take him off. We'll bring Jesus Jimenez on as that target man on attack. Wait. The game says 4-2, and when was there a goal? I'm so confused. I thought it was 3-2. Where have I missed a goal then? We saw this one, didn't we? Who scored that one? We knew Despacito scored a hat-trick, didn't we? So is it this goal we missed with Angel Gomez? No, we saw that one, didn't we? Where am I thinking we only scored 3 when we scored 4 instead? Did we see... I'm going... You can tell I'm all... am I going crazy? I swear I've only seen 3 goals, but I did know that Despacito got a hat-trick and Angel Gomez. I'm so confused. Okay, well, it's 4-2. I'll take that, obviously. It's 4-2. I absolutely love that. I just don't recall us seeing us score 4 goals. Angel Gomez gets a 5th goal. That's good as well. We've really picked things up now. But, I mean, I knew I was poorly. I knew I wasn't very well. I'm genuinely so confused. Let me know in the comment section. Did you see 3 goals or did you see 4? I mean, I don't need to ask you that because I'll see in editing, won't I? But, I mean, that was a very, very boring second half then. There was perhaps 1 goal, perhaps 2 goals. Unsure as to how many goals there were in that half. But, I mean, okay. It doesn't matter though. We've won 5-2. That first 20 minutes we played were awful. That first 20 minutes, we just did not turn on. 20 minutes onwards, we were sick. We won 5-2. That should be enough, I think, to get us through into the group stages. But of course, we've got the second leg coming up later on. And we've got Chelsea in a few days' time. So I'm just going to try and recover to my brain as to what just happened. And then I'll see you for the Chelsea game. Right, we're making a few changes, but keeping the same shape for the Chelsea game. So Diaz comes in for Aravelos, who picked up a knock in that game. Patino is fit enough, but isn't condition-wise fit enough to play. He's on 87%, so he can't play today. Kobayashi comes in for him. And then because Masovic is still suspended for a game, somehow, carrying over from last season, Ferraria has to move from that right-hand side to a left-hand side, because he can sort of play left-back a little bit. And then Bardi comes into play at right-back, because he's the other right-back that we got. We brought 2 in, of course, so that was good. We brought 2 right-backs in. We just didn't really think about left-back, did we? Right, kick-off is once again upon us. We're sitting at home today, of course. We're down in 15th in the table. Other teams have played twice already. We're like the late Sunday kick-off, basically. So, obviously, we lost our first game, so we're down bottom end of the table. Hopefully today, though, with a win, we can move ourselves into that top half again if we manage to beat West Ham, or beat Chelsea today to get ahead of West Ham, for example, on goal difference and things like that. But of course, it's early days, so it doesn't matter too much whereabouts we sit. It matters at the end of the season where we sit, and we've got a long way to get there still. So potentially, we've still got the chance to only lose one game this season to Everton. We could actually go on and win every single game now, and just lose one game to Everton, then win the league. But the likelihood of that happening, well, it's not very high, is it? First highlight of the game, though, looks like it's coming towards us as Diaz collects the ball, plays it to Hammer Time, and Hammer Time just loses control of it at the last second. But that was a good bit of move from us. Kobayashi wins 2 headers in a row there to win possession for us once again as Despacito comes down this right-hand side for us. Gets tackled, though, but only as far as Bardi. Mertens through to Jalapeno. Jalapeno into Diaz. Diaz loses possession. Now Morata has a chance to come forward for Chelsea. But Kobayashi, again, showing why he should be starting, basically. He's obviously been pushed down to the... Diaz! Oh, Diaz. So Courtois gets the ball up here. Diaz tackles him. He has so much time to run in the box and just tap it in the net. But no, shoots from out there. Prick. As I was saying, though, with Kobayashi, obviously he's been pushed to the bench this season because Patino and Benteke are much better than him. But that kind of performance there, winning 3 balls in a row like that, that does show to me maybe he should be starting games. I swear to God, if we lose this game or draw this game now because Diaz couldn't take his time to shoot, there'll be trouble. But it doesn't matter, though, because he's just set up Hammer Time to score his 4th of the season already in all competitions, of course. He's not scored 4 in the league yet because we've not scored 4 goals in the league yet. But at least we're 1-0 up against Chelsea, and that is a much better performance already than we're having against Everton last time out. We just did not turn up against Everton. So for us to turn up against Chelsea, who are arguably a better side than Everton, obviously, we're like 9 years in the future now, so things do change a little bit. But they are still slightly better than Everton, I think. Despacito makes it 2-0. He's been a fantastic signing so far, scoring bags of goals. In fact, he may overtake Hammer Time now as our top goal scorer, I think. So, good showing from Despacito. I mean, in a similar style to last game, second half has been pretty poor, actually. Nothing has happened, basically. Nothing has happened. Jalapeno, though, for the first highlight of the game, puts it towards Hammer Time. Hammer Time just swing that into Diaz. Diaz can't get the end of it, but Despacito gets on the end of that second cross, and it is 3-0 to us against Chelsea now. This is a much better performance than in between episodes. I mean, I'm delighted with the boys today. I was starting to doubt the signings, actually, after the Everton and Hammarby game, which you didn't see. I was starting to doubt them, thinking, oh, God, what have we actually signed this season? But it turns out they are pretty decent. All right, changes do need to be made. Ferreira is looking tired. So, can Kobayashi actually play there on that left-hand side? No, he can't. Can Patino play there? No, he can't. No one can play there, basically. I reckon then we bring this guy on, which I still can't pronounce, and no one seems to know how to pronounce either in the comments. Well, people do claim to know how to pronounce it, but there's conflicting reports on how you pronounce it. So instead of... Look at his eyes. I've just noticed his eyes. I mean, they are scary eyes. Jeez, I would not want to meet him in a dark alleyway at night. They are actually terrifying, those eyes. I mean, I was going to rename him to Nancy, because that kind of makes sense, but, I mean, Jesus, that is scary. Crazy eyes. That's his nickname. I mean, his tackling's only 9. But to be fair, he doesn't need tackling. He just gives people the stare. He gives them the stare with those eyes, and they just give him the ball, basically. That's... Whoa. We're 3-0 up as well, so we're going to give Hall a little run out as well, instead of Hammer Time to come off. So Hall, he must be 17 now. Bit of a wonder kid for us, though. Still got 5-star potential. So if he bags himself a goal today, I'll be very, very pleased. I'm literally still terrified of Crazy Eyes, though. That was scary. I bet he just stands in the middle of the pitch, just stares at them and goes... and then they just give him the ball. I mean, I would. If I was a player, I'd give him the ball. And there we go. 3-0 against Chelsea. Fantastic result, that. Passionately. That was special, lads. No one gave us a chance, but you all played bloody brilliantly. So, good average ratings all round. No one below a 7.2, actually. Everyone's doing pretty well today. Very, very impressed with the boys. That's a great win. I can't be more happy with the boys. Great win. Right then, I'm going to rest these players for a few days, or just a day probably, actually. Just 1 day's rest. So we've got the AIK game in 4 days' time, and I'll see you for that then. Right, well, you guessed it. Same formation once again. It's working out pretty well for us so far. Obviously, Reynolds starts in goal. Masevic back at left back, which means Ferreira can go back to right back. But Kobayashi will stay in today instead of Patino because he played so well last game. Jalapeno and Mertens, of course, retain their middle place. Diaz stays in the middle as well. Gomez and Despacito still on the wing, and of course, Hammer Time still up front. So we're not really changed too much, to be fair. We should probably give some of the chaps a little run out, actually. In fact, let's get... Oh, I'll say that, though. Despacito's played really well the past few games, so... okay, let's change midfield then. Pandolfi and Crazy Eyes. Get yourself on the pitch. You can both play today. Pandolfi more of a... we'll make you central midfield and support. Do what you naturally want to do. I don't really know what central midfield and support does, but you can do it. And then kickoff is upon us. We're away to AIK, but we are 5-2 up on aggregate. So as long as we don't concede and lose by 3 goals, we should be okay for the group stages, basically. And I think this game should win us a lot of money, because I think we should get a lot of money for qualifying for the group stages. It's, of course, the biggest game in Lincoln's history, this, of course. We've got a chance to qualify for a group stage of a major European competition, which is fantastic. First real highlight of the game, then, by looks of things now, as Despacito comes forward with the ball now, with a chance to cross it in from this right-hand side, right to the byline, puts it into the back post of Gomez, and Gomez is fouled, and Hammer Time is going to take the penalty for us. I've missed the chance to change it, so it's Hammer Time taking it. We can't change it to anyone else. Hammer Time slots it home. I thought the keeper just about got there, but Hammer Time does finish that with a wonderful goal. His 5th of the season now. Fantastic stuff from him. Crazy Eyes on the ball then. He's won the ball there just by looking at his opponents, and they gave him the ball basically. As he comes forward now, actually loses possession there, but he wasn't looking. He was looking at one way, and the guy was behind him, so the other guy wasn't looking at him to make sure he couldn't see him basically. But Crazy Eyes does get his first goal for the club. Fantastic stuff. He's got the keeper thought about saving it, but Crazy Eyes just looked at him, and he was like, no, I'm not saving that. Because he got his fingertips to it, but then as he got his fingertips to it, he saw the look and was like, no, push it in the back of the net. Push it in the back of the net instead. Oh, I bloody love Crazy Eyes. He's my favourite player already. I'm going to try and play him every game now, to the detriment of the team, I think, as well, because I know that Jalapeno and Mertens are much better than him. So it could be detrimental if we play him every game, but at the same time, who's going to try and challenge him when he's got those eyes, basically? As we come forward again, we're 2-0 up, so we're very, very comfortable there as Frick gets the ball. I read that wrong first off, but Frick is on the ball. He plays it forward to his man, and they've had a shot, but it was woeful. They can't do anything about it. They've got to score 5 goals now. 5. If we grab one more as well, that equals the away goals. So then they have to score 7 to overtake us. And I don't think they're going to do that, are they? As Crazy Eyes gets his 2nd of the game. It's over now. It's completely over. We've won it. There's no chance of AIK coming back into this now at all.
There's no chance of AIK coming back into this now at all.
Well, we're coming forward again now in this first half. We've got a chance to score a 4th with Despacito, who's a creative outlet for the side at the moment. He's always creating on that right-hand side. I think he's a very, very good transfer that we've made, and Lukasic is going to find it very, very hard to get game time if this guy is performing the way he's performing, to be fair. As Gomez now with a chance to come forward, puts it into Hammer Time. Hammer Time past his man, scores another goal. It's 4-0 for us, and I mean, is there any point changing the rest of this game now? Is there any point? Actually, if I'm honest with you, I hope there aren't more goals, because this episode is already going to be long, because there's been 3 games, and they're long games anyway, because there's been quite a lot of goals. So any more on this will make the episode even longer, and me editing more. I don't like editing, really. It's not the most fun thing to do. As Gomez scored the 5th, but it's okay, because I was explaining to you why I want no more goals in this game, which is probably wasting more time than it would do to me actually just saying, oh, Gomez scored a goal. So well done, Tom. Of course, we'll see the draw as well after this. The draw comes up in the day after this, so we'll see who we've got in the group stages. But I'm super excited for it. A rare chance now for AIK to come forward with the ball. Stefanelli into Strelos, into Frick, and Frick gets a consolation goal for them. But they do have to score 8 more goals now to beat us. So I mean, I'm not worried. Basically, I'm not worried. They've actually got a chance to come forward again now. Frick's been put forward in behind the defence, but he's been held up there, and Kobayashi makes a decent challenge. But Stefanelli has just scored a goal. It's now 5-4 on aggregate. That's a lie. It's 10-4 on aggregate. You know, all of a sudden, 2 goals. Could they turn into 8 goals? I hope not. I'm pretty sure they won't. But they are coming forward again, which, that's not good. Nielsen on the ball. Stefanelli. It's, oh, jeez. We'll do a little shout, just saying, tighten up, basically, boys. Tighten up. Crazy Eyes gives the balls away cheaply there. Now, Frick's coming forward again, but we've made an interception now. Hammer Time coming forward. Despacito on the ball. Despacito crosses it in onto Gomez. Gomez makes it 6. Well, then have to score another 7 goals now. So that does calm me a little bit, but the way they scored those 3 goals so easily, could they score 7? I don't know why we're even suggesting that, because ordinarily, I would never ever think a team would score 7 goals against us, let alone with 20 minutes to go. But because I'm actually a little bit paranoid about this, and we've not had the best European performances. They've been a bit mixed. It does actually make me think maybe, just maybe they could, as they come forward again now, frick on the ball, frick it now. Look how many players they've got on that side that we can't deal with, and they've scored another. Jeez. I mean, let's make some changes. Pandolfi, he's been crap. I mean, he's been woeful on the pitch. No one's been very good. And to be fair, Hall can come on for Diaz, and then him and Hammer Time can swap places, basically, because let's give Hall a chance to score some goals. And the defence has been woeful. Kobayashi, you never start. That's a lie. You will start games again, but he's not played very well today. He won't start in the next game, I don't think. Patino will come back on for him. Well, I bet you never thought you'd see a scoreline like this. 11-6 on aggregate, 6-4 on the day. Jeez, that is a incredible scoreline. Oh, Hammer Time's picked up an injury now. Twisted knee. I should have just taken him off in the first place. That is worrying for us, but it doesn't matter too much because we've won. We've come out on the right side of an 11-6 aggregate scoreline. We've come into the group stages now. We'll go passionately. A nice victory because we didn't play that well really in the second half. First half, amazing. Second half, Jesus Christ, we were awful. Hammer Time's out for a couple of days, so he will miss the Fulham game, but I think we then do have a game coming up. International break rather, so he should be fine for the next few league games after that. And we've won £2.3 million for securing the European Cup group stages, or the Euro Cup group stages, Europa League, whatever you want to call it. It's always difficult trying to say Europa League when you're reading Euro Cup. Right, Euro Cup group stage draw. We're third seeded for this, which does mean we have to play some decent sides, unfortunately. So we'll draw the first two teams in each group, basically. Let's just scroll down so you can properly see those teams. Right. Let's have a look at this a little more closely then. Right, which group do I want out of all these? We can't go in Group A because West Ham are there. We can't go in Group K because Chelsea are there. We can go in every other group though, and if I'm being honest with yourselves here, I would quite like the Roma and Ghent group because we beat Roma in pre-season, and Ghent, they should be easy, I reckon. I wouldn't mind Nice or AEK. I wouldn't mind Leverkusen or Ludogorets. We beat Leverkusen as well. So I think a few of these groups are alright. I don't want Ajax or Bilbao. I don't want Valencia. I don't want Galatasaray or Real San Sebastian. So let's see. Oh, brilliant. We've got the group that I said I wanted. We've got Roma, which is going to be tough. We beat them pre-season. But Ghent should be, well, I'd like to think they're easy. But then again, we did struggle against two Swedish sides. So, I don't know. Who else have we got? We've got a team that I've never heard of. Vitterul. Have you heard of them? I've not heard of them. They're Romanian. So, Vitterul. Although it looks like a bit of a weird accent. Maybe it's Vitterul. I mean, someone will tell me in the comment section, I'm sure. But, yeah. That's our group. Right, next episode then, I suppose it's got to be that Vitterul game, hasn't it, in that first Euro Cup game, because that is exciting, isn't it? So we'll play that in West Ham, I think. So I know today's been a very long episode, but thank you very much for sticking around if you've made it this far. We've really had a good episode. It's been a fantastic set of results, to be fair, actually, I've got to say. So I'm very pleased with the boys and how we've done. And of course, qualifying for the Europa League group stages, which is fantastic. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.